I'm no longer under the typical, the stereotypical broadcast spectrum. I've branched out more into digital media, which was what I set out to do 3 years ago. And I'm glad to say that not only have I been ahead of the curve, but it's definitely worked out.
I'll talk now to James Sweeney. He is a media entrepreneur here in Wall Street, New York City. Thanks a lot for joining us. And I'd like you to talk a little bit about your story, your challenges during your career as an entrepreneur.
Okay, no problem. Well, good to see you again, Lucienne. Thank you for having me on the program. And I'd love to talk about my experience as an entrepreneur. What do you want me to say? How do you want me to start?
How was the beginning?
How was the beginning of opening my company? Well, it was a bit difficult, to be honest with you, because I've been in media for more than 10 years. And I've been at the New York Stock Exchange for more than 10 years. And to go from an employee to somebody opening up my own company and becoming my own boss, it really hasn't been the easiest of transitions, especially with technology. But it's been a good transition because I've done whatever I could to make sure that I not only have a healthy workplace, but that I also have a healthy relationship with not just the employees, but my clients as well.
What do your clients expect from your work in your company?
Well, every single day, my clients require that I produce a ton of videos in numerous languages every day at a certain time. The markets are open from 9:30 a.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. And in between those hours, I'm supposed to at least make sure that at least 20 videos are released each day in numerous languages. They expect me to be on top of the news. They expect me to manage my time properly. They also expect me to make sure that all the videos go up accordingly with no issues, no mess ups, and that the news is factual.
Before opening your company, you had a nice experience at New York Stock Exchange. Tell us about it.
Okay, well, I'll give you two quick stories. One is before I entered media, I was actually a runner at the CME Group floor. So I was involved with stocks through another company in which I was in charge of taking all the orders, putting them in, and making sure that they got allocated properly. But because my hours were kind of turned all around the place, I wasn't that happy. And they said I had a good voice, so I went to a company that had an open audition, this is more than 10 years ago already, at the New York Stock Exchange to become a television reporter. And luckily enough, they said that I had the age. I was only 22 at the time. I had the voice, which I think I still have. And I had the work ethic, which I obviously still have. And I was lucky enough to not just become a reporter on television, but to also experience the international media, because I had a French boss, I had Spanish coworkers, French coworkers, Japanese coworkers, Chinese coworkers, Italian, Brazilian, Portuguese, Spanish. I mean, name a country, I probably worked with them. And it was a great learning experience to know that there's a lot more going on in news than what you hear locally here in New York.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's me, James Sweeney, coming at you this Friday afternoon from the broadcast booth overlooking the floor.
And now, what are your plans?
And now my plans to continue to grow my company, Modern Wall Street. What it comes down to is I have a great staff, and we do 8 languages a day. And as technology continues to change, when I first started in broadcast, it was cameraman, satellite TV, live. Things have changed so much recently, especially with the advent of social media, going live, Facebook. That's what we have been doing now. So I'm no longer under the typical, the stereotypical broadcast spectrum. I've branched out more into digital media, which was what I set out to do 3 years ago. And I'm glad to say that not only have I been ahead of the curve, but it's definitely worked out. And as other big corporations have been trying to figure their way through social media and streaming, the reason why I'm still around is because I started it 3 years ago.
And which kind of companies ask for your services?
Well, I can't give away too much, but I do have partnerships, obviously, with the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ, which is very good to have on the resume when people look up the company. Not only that, I have a lot of Forex companies, a financial institution, big banks. I can't really say much because I create videos for them And when they're done, they own the entire property. And some of them I can't obviously say. But yes, I have clients from Russia to Australia to China to Japan, France, England.
Your Peninsula Energy Report for Monday, July 31st, 2017. Oil prices are dipping below the flat line after a strong...
I was recently in New Orleans to seal a deal, and I'm just looking to continue to expand because the purpose of my company is also not to have your standard, hi, how are you, this is the news today, but to make it fun, to make it interactive, to inject the modern in Wall Street, because they're constantly changing.
And what are the main challenges day by day, being concerned about your business and also information about market at the same time?
The challenges are simple. We're now working in a 24-hour news cycle. So challenges number one, how do you rest? How do you get some sleep? Because the markets are 24/7. When it's quiet here in New York, they're active in Hong Kong and Australia. And I do have to try my best, as well as my staff, to be on top of it. We try our best. We do get some rest because sleep is necessary, which then leads into number two. The other major challenge for me has to be staff management, because the markets you may judge are going in one direction one day, another direction the other. You base it on economic data. You have a sense as to what's going to happen.
The weekend in New York City, and you know you want some good wine, tapas, and some music.
With staff, you never know, because you have personality types. Sometimes people are in a bad mood. The weather can affect how somebody reacts, and you have to try your best to make sure that somebody's bad temper doesn't show on camera. You have to create a great work atmosphere, a fun work atmosphere, a positive work atmosphere. And those are the two hardest ones. And then I'll add number three, finances. Finances are difficult because taxes and payments, last minute expenses, something breaks, you have to make sure you run out and get it. And yeah, those are the three things. Those are the three things.
How do you find your clients, or how do your clients find you?
I've been lucky enough, because if you ever go out on Wall Street with me, a lot of people happen to know who I am. Over my 10 years of being on Wall Street, I walk down the block and people do recognize me and say hello. So for me, I've been lucky to be able to network. And it's through the networking, that's the way that I meet people, such as yourself. And networking has really helped a lot, because one person will tell another person, oh, I'm interested in doing video. Oh, I've got the right person for you in the right company. Not only that, what's really helped has been social media, to be honest, because I've really made sure, along with the rest of the staff, to blast out our name and our exclusive interviews, things that are very different. And it's done nothing but give us a lot of attention in a positive light, positive attention. And clients see that, prospective clients see it, they like what we do. One of the best compliments I've ever received had to be recently when I was in London. I went to a place across the street from Buckingham Palace to sign a contract. And then he literally told me, he goes, we have offers from all these other institutions, we chose you. And I said, why? Why would you choose me? He's like, because you're different, you make it fun, you know how to deliver the news short and quick. But there's impact there. And what it comes down to, he even looked at me, he goes, you're just an easy person to talk to. We know that you're not going to beat around the bush with us. You're direct. And I thought that was a great compliment, to be honest with you.
And about the profile, your employees' profile, what do you expect from them?
I expect them to come in and work and give it their all. I am very lenient with my employees through my previous employers. I've learned to listen to my employees, give them the opportunity to grow, give them the opportunity to also share their thoughts and try different things, and help them become more creative and at least acknowledge their creativity. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, but we give it a shot anyway. And what I really expect for them to do is to come in here at 9 o'clock in the morning, 30 minutes before the bell with a smile on their face, leave at 4 or 5 o'clock with a smile on their face, knowing that the day went like that and they had a good time.
And are you optimistic about America's economy or not?
I'm always optimistic about America's economy. I know it might sound biased, but I'm an American, so USA #1. But at the same time, am I optimistic? Of course I am. There's always You know what it is, not even as a New Yorker, as an American, I hear a lot of other Americans saying, well, the country's not doing that great. There's a lot of issues going on. But at the same time, regardless, when I speak to people that are not from America, they all still want to come here. They also call it the land of opportunity. There's still a lot more jobs available in this nation than a lot of other nations. As a matter of fact, as a guy that follows stocks all the times, the jobs numbers, we have more open jobs available now than in the past 6 years. So I'm optimistic. Why could I not be?
And market seems to be like independent from the economy, isn't it?
Well, you said the markets are independent from the economy. To an extent. Well, I know the markets are at all-time highs. Yesterday they hit an all-time high, but the markets are always, they're great to see how the economy possibly is doing, but at the same time, it's not an overall scope of the economy. Are they independent of the economy? Yes, but they're also tied in. It's a mixed bag. It's a little too complicated to explain, but the markets are a good visual as to how the economy can possibly be. That's how I look at it.
James, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations for your company, your success. I'm your fan. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much. For you to call me a fan, I'm very flattered. I've known you for a while, and I'm glad that I have another fan to say is watching Modern Wall Street. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Luciene Miranda to Dukascopy TV.